This is Face the Nation, broadcasting live from the CNN IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Is Air India, our so-called national carrier, becoming a national embarrassment? Today, Air India employees have called off their strike after the Delhi High Court declared it illegal and the government cracked down, in fact sacking 15 and suspending 17. But the two-day strike has meant 40 flights, cancelled and thousands of passengers stranded.
140 flights cancelled, 13,000 passengers stranded as 20,000 striking employees grounded the Maharaja for the second day. But the Air India strike came to an abrupt end late evening on Wednesday as the unions got cornered when the Delhi High Court pronounced the strike illegal.
Since we have given an assurance to the Chief Labour Commissioner, it's not that our back has broken. We are given assurance, our General Secretary has told us to restore the normalcy, and similarly we are going to communicate the message down to my workers and they will be on work.
With the nation still mourning the dead in the Mangalore air tragedy, even the PMO and Finance Ministry were not amused by the employees' flash strike. The Civil Aviation Minister gave Air India CMD Arvind Jadhav a free hand to get tough.
The management of Air India is free to take all appropriate steps, and they are, I'm sure, going to adequately respond in the given situation.
Since May 2009, when Arvind Jadhav took over, the management and the employees have been at loggerheads. There have been several strikes, but this time the government is keen on dealing with the entrenched unionism with an iron hand. Several striking employees are being terminated and more could follow. With George Koshi in Mumbai and Karma Paljor and Varun Kumar in New Delhi, this is Rohit Khanna.
And just a few minutes ago, our correspondent Pratana Gahilot spoke to Civil Aviation Minister Praful Patel, and this is what Patel had to say.
Just a few people holding an entire company to ransom. Not only the company, forget just Air India. Look at the number of passengers who are inconvenienced. Ultimately, what is Air India? It's the passengers who make an airline. If they don't fly or choose not to fly, then what remains of an airline? In fact, that should have been the primary consideration. 50,000 passengers on a given day flew Air India on just 2 days ago. That's the highest in its recorded history. When government and everybody is working to bring back the past glory of Air India, government is willing to put money, has committed itself. We brought in a good board of independent directors. A professional CEO is joining in a couple of days. Everything possible is being done to bring back the airline to shape. This is the way people behave, and that also in the aftermath of a tragedy, and that also for its own company to have gone through this kind of a tragedy means it has to do a lot of soul searching and to try to build back the brand again.
Building back that Air India brand. Can it happen? Joining us tonight, PC Sen, former CMD of Indian Airlines and former chairman of Air India, is joining us right here in our studio. We have Jitendra Bhargav, former executive director of Air India, joining us. Suhail Seth, managing partner, Counselage. Also, he was on the board of British Airways. And what is the question we're asking tonight? Is it time to denationalize Air India? It's been a double tragedy, that Saturday air crash, then the strike. What are you telling us at the start of the show? 78% are there saying yes. Let's get in the crossfire. Jitendra Bhargav, you know the personnel of Air India and Indian Airlines very well. You've served there. How very humiliating for a country that a tragedy like this takes place. 158 people die, 4 of your own die, and instead of coming together in grief and solidarity, 2 days later you go on strike. What does this say for the kind of stakes that these employees have in the airline?
You see, it's extremely sad that the employees have put their personal interest above the national interest and the interest of the airline. There was simply no rationale for the employees to go on strike. They are talking in terms of a gag order. Was that gag order so big thing, such a big thing, to warrant a flat strike inconveniencing 15,000 people? Certainly not. There had to be responsibility. There is a simple tenet in service industry, put your customers first. And what they did, they forgot that basic thing, put their own interest first. And why? because the management asked one of the union leaders as to why he had gone to the media giving a report on an incident involving an aircraft when they had no business to do so. We have DGCA as the regulatory agency. It was the DGCA's business to pull up Air India if any mistake had been made. Why run down your carrier? Loyalty to the airline is a must before one can say that we need the airline to progress. Airline has gone through bad times. Most airlines in the world are just recovering. You cannot get passengers to stay away from you, because when you inconvenience 15,000 passengers, a certain percentage of employees do take a resolve that I'm never going to patronize this airline again. And if you can't generate revenue at a time when there is need for it, how do you guarantee salaries to the employees on time, which is another issue that the unions have been raking time and again.